some kids actually mature physically a little bit faster. They mature earlier. They hit puberty a little bit earlier. And by doing that, it makes them stronger and appear more skilled than the other kids when they're at a younger level. And what happens, there's a psychological imprint. You now are comparing yourself. Let's say you're one of those kids who hit puberty earlier. You're comparing your skills to other kids who've yet to hit puberty. And because of that, you feel now confident in the next season because you saw how great you did in compared to these other kids who have not yet hit puberty and thus are not as strong. But here's the first challenge you're going to face is when they hit puberty, they're also going to start to get stronger as well. And now strength is no longer a differentiator because now both athletes are strong. So it creates common ground here. The second thing that happens quite often where you have the athlete who simply hit puberty earlier and then they're using strength and physicality to overwhelm their opponents and they're doing well, they don't work as hard as the kids who've yet to hit puberty and need to actually have a lot of practice, a lot of reps on the tee, a lot of reps throwing. They need to practice more. Now, what happens a year or two of that type of culture, those two different approaches, is that the kid who did not hit puberty yet and needed to work a lot harder and therefore practice more, got more reps, ends up being the better athlete 1 or 2 years down the road than the athlete who felt, I don't need to practice anymore. Look at how good I am because of how much stronger I am. And what happens is there's a major flip-flop and then they go on completely different paths. So it's dangerous, and how this is applicable here is especially in middle school, it's the primary age where this happens, and you got to be careful. So even if you have a child, let's say, who's bigger and stronger, and they're in the younger age group of, let's say 10 to roughly 13, just because they're bigger and stronger then doesn't mean they're always going to be bigger and stronger then. So don't assess how much your child has to work based on the results comparatively to other players in that moment. That's not going to set up your child for success later on. What I recommend is still work hard. Regardless of the results you're seeing on the field, you still need to practice. You still need to prep. You still need to get the reps, because as good as you may have been against other kids who have not had puberty, you're still not as good as you could be because you've yet to hit your potential.